What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Menu Mayhem, where we dissect real menus and uncover real problems and the hidden opportunities behind them. I'm Kris from Fresh Perspective, and this, like all the others, is a menu submitted by one of you. Today we are looking at the Common Room, which is a casual grill and bar type place in Massachusetts. Right away, I'm seeing some things I like. Don't mind this. There's been some PDF erroring happening here. I'm not gonna fault the menu for that. First, the menu, the logo is cool. Hold on, let's feel the tradition. Lost my pen. There it is. The idea of putting established when it's less than like 20 years is something I'm not on board with. I guess this space should be filled for some balance, but the established, I'm looking at your view. I think we could stand to zoom this in some. Much better. Let's break down why do we bother mentioning when a restaurant's been established. It is to establish longevity within the community. It's to show we're a staple of this community. It's to show that we are good enough to have been around for a long time. It's to show maybe that we are adhering to some values that people associate with a past era. All of these are good reasons. 2024, if anything, tells me, when? December 2024? Like, this place could have just opened. This is not adding anything to the experience, I feel like. I would find something else to balance this out. Or maybe even just drop I was stuck with Common Room Grill, or maybe a real small the right here. Anyway, this is not logo mayhem. This is menu mayhem. Let's get into it. Starting lineup. All right, let's talk about heading. Starting lineup. Green Monsters. Main event. Okay, so good. Here we have another menu wherein we have creative heading names and they actually adhere to the theme. We're looking at some sort of baseball theme here. So here we have the starting lineup, the Green Monsters, of course, for Fenway Park. And then the main event, another term traditionally associated with baseball. I have no problem with this. Great. It's such a shame that the PDF rendering has mangled this because we're not going to be able to talk so much, I think, about menu format like we normally would. All right. Starting lineup, boneless tenders, lemon pepper garlic parm buffalo, honey hot. Most popular. I like a most popular, especially, I'm not sure how close this is to the ballpark, but especially in a place where people are tourists, you're going to see a lot of tourists. I think putting a most popular is... My cat is quite angry that I have locked her out of the room for this. I think a most popular is a great way to guide people. Now, the way I would recommend this be done instead is something like putting a box around this. And don't bother with any text. Just call this out as a featured menu item. You can feature a menu item because it's most popular. You can feature a menu item because it's a limited time special, or you can feature it because it's something that is a specialty within your restaurant. But either way, drawing attention to at least one menu item in each section is a fantastic idea. So great job there. Hot orange buffalo, common teriyaki, tying it back to the common room. That's fine with me. And then honey barbecue hickory smoked southern style. Getting a little verbose here, but again, it's okay. I would pull this back to one line. It could be the PDF output though, and this is on one line. This is fine. Not so common wings, 10-piece. Is it? I'm not a boneless wings eater. You boneless wings eaters tell me, is it common that boneless wings are cheaper than bone-in wings? I feel like it's not. But also, all right, so good. Sin, we've spotted here. Not so common wings, 10-piece. Great. Boneless tenders. How many? Starters are one place in particular I want you to be focusing on how many you're giving people. starters are built to be shared. If I have 4 people at my table and I order a starter that comes with 3 pieces, that's a problem. So make sure your servers know. You can inform your servers or just put it on the menu. Be very clear about the sizes of shareables for sure. I think I would combine, well, so boneless tenders is not necessarily boneless wings, though I'm assuming we're sharing sauces here. I think there is a cleaner way to do this. I would like to play with this some. I would put wings and tenders and the price, and then I would list the flavors after the fact. Again, small style thing though, and not enough to tear up a menu and start over with. Truffle fries, a staple in bars these days. Onion rings, nothing wrong with that. Nachos, yeah. We're just going to put a mark on that so we don't forget about it. Crispy calamari, potato skins, jalapeno cheese dip. Okay, they don't go crazy. You know what? Let's take a quick look. Kebab, ziti. I'm going to be generous and call these Italian dishes. We're getting a little Italian here. Greens. Oh, these are salads. Okay. I don't love the nachos on this menu. I understand that people think it's a bar necessity to have nachos. I don't think that it is. I would much prefer to see this kind of thing left to a place that has some sort of theming with the nachos, some sort of Tex-Mex thing going on. I would pull this menu item, I think. I doubt we're using the guac anywhere else. I bet we're using a lot of kitchen inventory in the nachos that we don't use anywhere else. And it's kind of just being recycled for a single dish, which I don't like. I think you could, honestly, I think you could cut it entirely and you still have a very robust starting lineup here. You got wings, fries. This is the only thing that's not fried. But anyway, there's a dozen items on here. Losing this, I think, would save you some money, save you some effort, bring your theming a little tighter, and I don't think you would lose anything for it. What I would add is a second item that's not fried. People come to bars, they expect fried food. Fried food should probably be front and center, no doubt about that. But some options for people who prefer to not be deep fried in everything would be good. Remember, we've talked about people are looking for smaller portion sizes. Go read my recent blog post on the James Beard report. People are looking for smaller portion sizes. They're looking for lower calorie options. They're looking for gluten-free options, even in places like this. So bringing at least one of those things to bear in each of the categories would be well worth your time. And we have the room for it here. This is kind of where people will end up relegated, right? If they want to be healthy, they'll be like, well, there's the salads section. I guess I will mosey on over there. I'm wondering if turkey tips is kind of a regional specialty because I'm seeing it in a few places here. I don't know Massachusetts very well. If it is, cool. Maybe let's call it out like we talked about before. Let's put a box around it. Say this is a local specialty. Otherwise, seems a little odd to me. I've never seen that anywhere. I'm gonna have to do some investigating into turkey tips. People from Massachusetts, tell me what's up with the turkey tips. All right, let's talk about these salads. Common salad, romaine, cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, good. Arugula, goat cheese, romaines, Parmesan, Caesar. Yeah, I don't hate these salads. The prices are fine. They are expected. There's nothing particularly novel in the salad section, but honestly, that a bar like this would even have a salad section is the novelty. And then, of course, for all of your dudes that are looking to eat a little healthier, but also not sacrifice out on taste, you can add these proteins. I think that's fine. Adding $10 for steak tips. We're turning this into a $22 salad now. I mean, I guess you have to for the protein, but no, I guess you have to. These prices are still reasonable. It does turn these prices up, though. I think what I would do instead, the customization is a great way to go. If it's working, if people love it, don't change it. But what I would do if I was building this menu from scratch is I would just build salads with these proteins built in. I would maybe up this to 6 salads, and then I would have a few salads that are built around these particular proteins, right? Because what you're doing by having these disparate proteins, right? Chicken doesn't taste like salmon, doesn't taste like steak. I now, as the guest, have to go through each one of these salads and determine which one would taste good with each individual protein to me. I would much rather have that pre-packaged already. Caesar, people know chicken Caesar is a classic. If you want to do a steak Caesar, you could do that, but I think it would then become kind of a novelty on your menu, something interesting. That's much better than offering this choice. People often fall into the trap of thinking that choice is king, that people want choice above all else. And that's just not true. People want a guided experience. People associate fewer options with higher quality. And when you reduce the options, you are much more in control of the route that everybody takes through your menu. They are directed to higher cost items. They're directed to higher margin items. They are directed to items that say who you are as a restaurant. That's something that can't be done with this choose your own adventure situation. Additionally, with all of these options, choose a protein, choose a salad, choose a dressing, you run the risk of someone accidentally making something disgusting, which will happen. So taking that off the table, I think wouldn't be the worst thing. So yeah, I think this section is worth an update. Let's get down to the main event. Served with a choice of 2 sides. I've lost the sides here for everybody being like, scroll down. It's just another copy. Adobe has really screwed something up here. I've lost the sides, but these are the main event. Ziggy's famous steak tips. Do we see Ziggy anywhere else? I'm not a huge fan of generally adding characters to your menu. Maybe this is the founder. Maybe this is somebody very important to the restaurant. Gosh, it could even be a sports mascot. I just don't know. But I'm not a fan of adding characters to your menu, especially if they don't recur. I don't know who Ziggy is. I don't know why I should care about his steak tips. If he appears in several places, then maybe I can start to get like, oh, this guy is important to the restaurant in some way. But just having it one here. Oh, okay, here we go. Another sin for sure. Special house sauce. What is this? Is it a steak sauce? Is it like a mojo marinade? Is it spicy? Is it sour? Is it fruity? Is it heavy and savory? Special house sauce tells me nothing. Tells me nothing about this. I get why people do it. You want to put house on the menu because you want to communicate this is made in-house. It's something created by our chefs. It's something original to us. But you have to then go on to put descriptors that mean things to people. House sauce does not cut it. Grilled salmon, perfectly seasoned and grilled for $26. $26 is a lot for 8 ounces of salmon. Not crazy, but it's enough to make me raise an eyebrow, especially at a bar where there is no other seafood going on. So I'm going to assume, as a guest, not as me, the person reviewing it, but as a guest, I'm going to assume you're not that great at making seafood. So this is a little concerning to me. I wonder if this is an effort to introduce some pescatarianism into the menu. If it is, I think there are ways you could do it more on theme. This feels lazy to me. This feels like somebody said, we need a healthy option. Stick a healthy option on there. Okay, fine. We stick some grilled salmon on there and like, shut up about it. That's what this feels like to me. And you don't want that vibe on your menu. Chicken shish kebab. Chicken and peppers on a skewer. This is cool. It is a little bit Mediterranean, a little bit Middle Eastern, but not so much. Well, it's not authentic in any way, right? It's more skewer than anything else. but it's still like a hand food, which is something we want in bars. It's fun, it's interesting, it's something you see everywhere. I would maybe lean into this. Hey everyone, just a quick pause here to say if you're into this kind of breakdown and you want to know what mistakes you might be looking at in your own menu, I've got a free guide down below called the 5 menu monsters that you really want to check out. And if what you're hearing here is hitting really close to home, I do this for a living. I help restaurants grow smarter, not just bigger. Go ahead and grab your free strategy call at getafreshperspective.com. Let's get back to it. I think there's a way to do it without invoking any Middle Eastern elements. I think I might lean into this kebab angle. We already have steak tips. Put those on a skewer. Like, maybe get 2 more skewers going over here and make that a thing. And then this is the part where I'm starting to get a little confused, because now we have an Italian restaurant coming out of nowhere, an Italian-American restaurant. Chicken or eggplant parm, but yet another, we need a healthy option, we need a vegetarian option, so go ahead and stick the eggplant parm on there. Pork, beef, and veal meatballs. I think we've got an Italian-American running this place. Either that or heavily involved in making the menu in one way or the other. I don't know people who are not Italian American, really take pride in that heritage, who do all 3 of these in their meatballs, and then in-house red sauce with penne. So if I'm right, we have somebody who has a lot of pride in their heritage, which is a key thing for restaurants, and I wish more restaurants had it. I think they would be better for it. But they didn't, for whatever reason, want to make an Italian restaurant. So rather than making that decision, rather than untying that Gordian knot and saying, I'm either going to make an Italian restaurant or I'm going to figure out a way to make a bar that has some elements of my heritage that I'm proud of, just kind of snuck in there for a little flair. Rather than doing that hard work, they just have cut it and said, I'm going to do half of an Italian restaurant. I'm just going to kind of throw that on here. Here we go. Chicken parm, pasta meatballs, chicken broccoli ziti, the most quintessential Italian-American dishes. We're going to go ahead and throw those on a menu right next to nachos. And yeah, it'll be fine. And maybe it is fine, but is it good? No. No. I have to wonder whether this restaurant even wants to be doing main events. The entire main event section to me is the most disjointed so far on the menu. It's the most thoughtless. I think the people running this restaurant would be much happier backing away from restaurant and diving full force into snacks. Tapas for the bar. Do your kebabs. Have your salads. Expand this. Do more kebabs. I don't feel like you want to be doing sit-down, full-service restaurant food. If you are, that desire is not coming across in the way that you've put your menu together. This does not feel like love. This feels loving. This feels loving. The rest of this feels like a compromise. This feels like a compromise. This feels like a compromise. You've built a great theme here. But then you give up on it. I say dive headlong into it. This is a sports-centric bar. When people go to sports games, they don't sit down and have full plates of ziti. They don't have full plates of pasta meatballs. And they don't get plank grilled salmon. People get snacks. They get foods you can eat with your hands. And I'm assuming the area is probably into this. You're going to want some healthy options regardless. I really think this kebab angle is the one. I would lean into this. I would say put the steak tips on a kebab. I would come up with at least 2 other kebabs, and then I would toss the rest of this out. Toss all this out. Toss this out. Really look at the ingredients that you have here and make sure that they're being utilized across dishes and not being kind of tossed out for a dish here. And then we got a whole another set of ingredients for a dish over here. And then we have a whole another set of ingredients for a dish over here. I think it makes for a much more cohesive experience. there's less choice, but you're in the driver's seat of your customer's experience. They learn what it's like to be at your restaurant. They associate it with a certain feeling, with being at the game, with watching the game, with having these wonderful finger foods. And then they come for that. They come looking for that experience in particular. And that's the question you have to ask yourself. Do you want your customers coming because they can come and sit down and look at the menu, and no matter what mood they're in, they can look through and they can find something that they will eat and be okay with? Or do you want someone to get into a mood and go, oh my God, you know what I could really go for right now is that steak tip kebab from Common Room. I think we should go watch the game up there. Maybe get some wings, get some kebabs. Like, that's what I'm in the mood for. I would take the second one all day, every day. And you should too. If people want this level of choice, they can go to Burger King. Anyway, I think I've made my point. The menu's not bad, but there is a spark in it of something great. And I think if they just leaned into that spark, this would blow up 10 times. So that's it for Menu Mayhem. If you enjoyed it, please hit subscribe, or better yet, send me the worst menu or any menu that you would like to see reviewed here on the show. Go ahead and send it to Kris at getafreshperspective.com. Link is down below, and we'll see you next time.